Hey everyone, Hassan here. Welcome to the world of Ha. Today, I got a special review for you. These are the latest Power Rangers Legacy figures from Wave 2. I know these have been out a while. I've had these for a while, but then all the new Ninja Steel and movie stuff was coming out. I never got the chance to actually do a review of these, so finally I'm doing a review. I know I'm late, but here they are. Better late than never, and I'm excited about these. These are the Legacy action figure line, and these are really cool. So let's take an up-close look at the package for these guys. So Wave 2 is a mix of Mighty Morphin and In Space. So Wave 1 saw the release of Mighty Morphin Red and Green and Ninja Storm Red, Blue, and Yellow. So these come with the Build a Megazord line, basically. So the Red Ranger had a piece of the Mighty Morphin Megazord, and these three had the full piece to make the Ninja Storm Megazord right here. The gosh, was it the Wind Megazord? I forget the name of it, but there's the Ninja Storm Megazord right there. I keep almost saying Ninja Steel, so I have to correct myself. But there's that, so that's really cool. But now we're finally getting more of the pieces for the other seasons. Unfortunately, this wave does not complete anything. We have Mighty Morphin Pink, Black, and Blue, but we still need Mighty Morphin Yellow, and Mighty Morphin White's going to be coming as well. We have In Space Red and Yellow, but then we need the rest of the In Space Rangers. So, you know, it's great to have more of these, but I want to get the rest of a collection, you know? Anyways, let's jump right to it. So we have the Mighty Morphin Black Ranger. So all the packaging is very similar, just as Saban's Power Rangers, and it has the season logo up top, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Build a Megazord, you can see a picture of the Megazord there, and then you have the Ranger displayed right here. So we'll take an up-close look at the figure, but there's that. These are all limited edition, these are all part of the Legacy collection. So, these are going to be more premium, so in terms of cost, they're going to be higher. I think they're, what, $20 each or something? So they're going to be higher than your normal action figure, but they do have a lot more articulation and detail than your normal action figure as well. So there's the Build-A-Figure line again, so it shows you the other ones in Series 2 right here, and then it shows you the Megazord. So that's the Black Ranger. Pink Ranger is going to be very similar. Mighty Morphin logo right there, although you got pink lightning bolts, so I like that little bit of detail. Build a Megazord, Pink Ranger right there, and same thing there. I do like the fact that, you know, I know we didn't get the Mighty Morphin Yellow Ranger, but they give us In Space Yellow. So if you look at the whole set of Series 2, they're all different colors. So it's essentially every color from Mighty Morphin, but they just substituted these because we already got Mighty Morphin Red and we don't have Mighty Morphin Yellow yet. But so that's kind of interesting that they did that. So it's nice to have that variety at least. Then you have Mighty Morphin Blue, Blue Lightning Bolts, Build a Megazord. There's Billy right there. Pretty cool. There you have it. And yeah. The next Legacy line is going to be the movie figures as well, by the way. Now, Power Rangers In Space. So there's the In Space logo, one of my favorite seasons ever, and my favorite Megazord, the Astro Megazord. I just love the Astro Megaship and the fact that it transformed into the Megazord. Like, I love that. I thought that was really cool. So I'm so excited to have this, but I can't complete the Megazord yet because we need the other Rangers. But I want it. Like, look at that. That looks awesome. The Astro Megazord right there, once you have all 5 Rangers. So hopefully soon, because I want to complete my collection. And In Space Yellow, of course, right here. So Andros and Ashley. We all know their whole love story in Power Rangers in Space. Love that season. Great season. Excited to have these figures. So pretty cool. So anyways, without further ado, let's get these open and take a look. And here they are, Series 2 of the Legacy figures out of the packaging. Oh man, these guys just, they look awesome. I love Power Rangers action figures. Like, I mean, yeah, you have Zords, yeah, you have role-play weapons and Morphers, but the Power Rangers, right? Like, that's the true meat of the toy line. And the Legacy figures are some of the best versions of these Power Ranger toys with a great detail and articulation and everything. I love these. So, first thing that I'm going to do is focus on Mighty Morphin. Let's get that out the way. So we'll move those two guys out the way. And I want to bring in two fellows here. So I'm going to bring in the Red Ranger, of course. Okay. And then I'm also going to bring in the Green Ranger, since we have him as well. So this makes the current team of Mighty Morphin figures that we have. I think Series 3 is going to have the Yellow Ranger and White Ranger, so we'll finally be able to complete the team. And the one thing that I first want to point out before I even get into the new figures is the source of a big amount of controversy, okay? Take a look at the Red Ranger right here. What do you notice about the Morpher? The belt is white, just like the rest of the figure. And you got the little power coin, red around it, little black, you know, markings around it there. So it's pretty detailed, right? So like that's pretty accurate, okay? Now let me switch over to the pink, what? Silver belt, what in the world? Silver? And the black markings around the red are just not even painted? What? Same thing with the Black Ranger, a silver belt? Huh? Same thing with the Blue Ranger? When you kind of look at it, it kind of sticks out a little bit, the silver belt. It's disappointing. The Legacy line was so great when it first released. This Series 2 is kind of disappointing because of that. You know, you're paying premium for, you know, $20 versus your normal, what is it, $7, $8 for an action figure, sometimes up to 10. But still, I know they've already addressed this. You know, the folks at Saban Brand stuff, they've talked about it was a manufacturing issue. They apologize. They can't go back and fix it. That sucks. I really am not happy about that. And it just kind of really... It's disappointing because these are the types of figures that you want to have on display. I mean, you can really come up with some amazing poses for them, and to have that kind of a mistake, especially on Mighty Morphin, your main flagship line that you promote like a million times too much, that's disappointing. I don't want to focus too much time on that, but I do want to point that out. So if you're somebody who really cares about like that type of detail, that is a big issue, and they are not going to fix it. That's what they've said. So Mighty Morphin toy line is going to have that issue, just FYI. All right, now that I got that out the way, I want to focus on the actual new figures. So here's the Blue Ranger right here. So let's take a close look at the figures just in detail, and then we'll look at articulation on these guys. So the detail is great. Aside from the paint issue, there's the Blue Ranger, the helmets, you know, even the power coin itself, you can really see the Triceratops molded on there, so that's pretty cool. The back as well, you know, has paint. So they did a good job with the actual detail on the figure aside from the paint issues. They all come with the Blade Blaster, like this, same for all the figures. So sorry, it's really hard to focus the camera on these tiny little details. Even a little bit of silver at the tip there, so that's pretty cool. So the other thing is these figures do not have any of their individual power weapons. Bandai has already addressed that and said that they're coming up with a way to release them somehow. They have not really, you know, truly said too much about that, but so somehow we'll get their power weapons. That's another big issue, and I really wish that we would have gotten the power weapons. I think that really makes each character unique. As is, you can just kind of pose them like that. You know, with the Blade Blasters, they look kind of lame, so I wouldn't really pose them much with it, but, you know, there it is. So, articulation-wise, head rotates all the way around, arm rotates all the way around, and it rotates up. It does kind of click, so you do have a nice, you know, like solid click to whichever level of articulation you want. You can actually rotate it right here too, and there's a double joint at the elbow, so you can really get down to some detailed poses there. And then the hand is on a ball joint, so you can of course rotate it however you want. This whole glove piece can be rotated as well, so lots of articulation. The chest piece can move forward and back a decent amount, and you can also rotate 360 degrees if you would like. The legs can move forward and back a decent amount. I can do the splits. This whole piece here can kind of rotate too, but I don't want to mess with it too much because it's pretty solid, and the more that you do it, the more it'll loosen up. Double joint at the knee, the whole boot rotates, and then the feet move forward and back, and also can kind of turn sideways like that. Can do a weird maneuver like that. So yeah, so lots of articulation basically is what I'm saying with these figures. Same articulation for the Black Ranger, so I'm not gonna focus too much time on that, but I will show you the Black Ranger up close. So main difference obviously being the helmet. Looks pretty good. So definitely a nice amount of detail. And there's the Mastodon power coin. All the other paint issues aside, looks good. Same blade blaster, same articulation, but yeah, pretty great figure. Okay. Then, last of the Mighty Morphin toy line so far, we have the Pink Ranger. So I'll show you the articulation in a second, but detail is also pretty good. The pterodactyl power coin. And the articulation is going to be quite similar, but it's just the skirt was going to limit some of that articulation. So head will rotate all the way around, the chest does move up and down, and also you can rotate kind of 360 degrees, but you can, you know, pop it back in. So however which way you want to display it. Arms rotate all the way around and up. This whole piece right here does rotate as well. Now the only other difference is there's only a single joint at the elbow versus double joint, but the whole glove does rotate. It's on a ball joint right here in the hands. The legs, because of the skirt, are going to be kind of limited, so that is a little disappointing, but it does have double joint at the knee, and the boot rotates around, and same articulation of the feet as the other Rangers. So there is that. It's basically, it's similar to what you got with the Ninja Steel Blue Ranger here, in terms of the skirt, in terms of just all the articulation in general. It's basically going to be kind of the same thing, and you can get a decent amount of poses there with it. I kind of wish they had maybe made the little flap go up a little bit higher so that you could pose a little more, made this a little bit more flexible, because that's usually the downfall with the female figures, is the skirt kind of gets in the way sometimes. So I wish they would have, you know, done a little bit more with that, but still not bad. Still pretty good for what it is. All right, before we get to the in-space Rangers, I want to show you the Mighty Morphin stuff that you get. So the Blue Ranger comes with the Triceratops leg right here for the Megazord. So you do have that. The Pink Ranger comes with this arm. Like if you're the Megazord, it's the Megazord's right arm, and the Black Ranger comes with the left arm of the Megazord. The Red Ranger came with the torso piece and the head, so all we're missing is the saber-tooth tiger leg, which is going to come with the Yellow Ranger, of course. So in the meantime, we can do the Build-A-Megazord. Hold on. The shoulder piece is also a little tricky with these guys. There we go. Clicked into place. This thing was a bit of a pain to get on as well. You kind of have to click it in properly. There we go. So just be a little careful with that. All right, other arm here. There we go. Okay. And then we have this leg for the Triceratops, which will then click in if I can. Oh, that is the wrong leg. It goes in this way. Haha. That's interesting. All right. So, click it on. Oh, wow, and everything's breaking apart. That's the one thing about some of these toys, that like the joints are really tight sometimes. And the other problem is I have the camera right in front of my face, so I can't put like my direct weight into it. Otherwise, I mean, it's hard with the camera in my face. So let me Let me try and do this real quick off camera. Hold on one second. Oh geez, this thing is, there we go. This thing is hard. All right. Oh gosh. This is like, you know, I'm not going to be like taking this Megazord apart and putting it back together very often. Once you connect it, like I'm leaving it as is, to be honest. So there you have it. All right, it's connected. We're good. I'm pretty satisfied with that. So basically we are now just waiting on the saber-tooth tiger, and then we'll have the full Megazord right there. Sorry for all the noise in the background. I think somebody's vacuuming and you can hear that in the background probably. But anyways, and then we do have the black and gold one that was a Power Morphicon exclusive, and I have this Power Sword that, did it come with this? I think it came with this, or one of the other toys came with it. Maybe it was the Red Ranger that I have. But anyways, that can go with the Megazord, and you have pretty cool looking figure. So I'll wait until we get the saber-tooth tiger, and then I'll kind of show you that in more detail in the next wave. But there's that. All right, on to, when we move these guys out the way, let's focus on these new guys here, the ones I'm more excited about. Power Rangers in space. We have the red and yellow Rangers. So this I cannot wait for. And I believe the next wave should complete the Mighty Morphin and In Space teams. I really hope so, at least, because I want to build the Astro Megazord. I really want to build the Astro Megazord. So let's take a look at the articulation and the detail on these guys. So Red Ranger right here can rotate the head all the way around. You know, very similar articulation. I'm just going to kind of go through the points and let you know if there's anything different. So rotates around, double joint there. This rotates around, ball joint, we're good. Chest piece moves up and down, rotates all the way around. Legs do the splits, forward and back and around, and double joint there. This rotates around. The feet can bend all crazy. So same exact articulation as the other Mighty Morphin guys, basically. And the Yellow Ranger here we're going to take a look at is essentially going to be the same as your female Rangers. So the Pink Ranger from Mighty Morphin and Blue Ranger from Ninja Storm. Going to be that same kind of articulation. So there's that. So just wanted to kind of show you that. So let's look at the detail on this guy up close. Pretty cool, and you do actually have the gold little symbol right there on the Red Ranger, so that's pretty cool. There's the different colors as well, so that's great. And both Rangers come with the Astro Blaster, which has a great amount of detail. That's, you know, one other thing about the Legacy figures that's really cool. The paint is just awesome. Little bits of red and gold, tiny, like look at that tiny little bit of red right there. Like, oops, now I'm dropping this guy. On both sides as well. You know, it's not just one side of the weapon. Both sides have a great amount of paint. So that is really cool. So of course the Rangers can hold the weapons, you know, in their hand as well. So there's that. Definitely looks pretty cool. I dig it. So that's the In Space Red Ranger. Great figure, great figure. And then we have the Yellow Ranger. Well, let's take an up-close look. Same kind of deal. You have a nice little gold right there. Helmet looks pretty good. Even down to the little lines right there, little clasps. Great stuff. Lots of good detail all around on the figures. They look great. Same Astro Blaster. I'm not going to really go through all the articulation. It's the same thing. I mean, you can see the skirt's the same, exact same articulation that you got with the Pink Ranger, basically. So, same thing there. And we'll take the Astro Blaster out and have her hold it. Pretty cool. So, I definitely dig it. I mean, In Space is a great season, and I love that we finally have these, you know, even better action figures for these Rangers. Now, as far as the Build-A-Figure line, or the Build-A-Megazord line, the Red Ranger comes with the main piece of the Astro Megazord, the torso piece there and the head. And then the Yellow Ranger comes with one of the legs right here. So for now, I can basically click this in, and that's what we have so far. So I can't wait to get the rest of it, but it's a start, definitely. So there you have it. So that is that, guys. These are the new Legacy figures. So these are the In Space and Mighty Morphin figures. I've seen them quite a bit at my local stores, so they seem to be pretty plentiful. I don't think you're really going to have many issues finding these in stores. But that being said, once they start to release the next wave and the movie Legacy figures and stuff, these might slowly start to become a little difficult. So I would get them while you can. And try and collect them. I know the Mighty Morphin line has the issue with the different colored belts, but at least for now, you can get the rest of the Megazord pieces. But In Space at least looks amazing, so definitely go pick these up. Hope you guys enjoy this review. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later. I'm curious what you guys think of this whole Build a Megazord line. I know there was some discussion from Bandai about the fact that they, in order to keep the costs at what they are, they had to kind of decide between having the Build a Megazord or having the Rangers' individual weapons, and they decided to go with the Megazord, so that would be really unique. But now everybody wants the weapons as well, so they're trying to figure it out. So what would you rather have in the packages? Would you rather have the Rangers' weapons or the Megazord pieces? Me personally, I think the weapons are kind of better, and I wouldn't mind buying the Megazord separately. I don't care much for having to piece together the Megazord, because once I piece it together, I'm not taking it apart. This black and gold Megazord that we got at Power Morphicon is all one piece, and it's pretty awesome, you know? So me personally, I would rather have the weapons. But then again, one thing you technically could do is you can mix and match these pieces. I don't really care to do that, but if you do want to, you could technically do that. These are all the same joints, so you really could kind of mix and match the Megazords. So I guess there is that flexibility too, but if you bought them separately, theoretically you could still do the same thing if they kept the same joints and stuff. So anyways, I just want to know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.